Today is October 9th. Today's quote is, "You are not a failure. You are not a failure when you fall. You are a failure when you don't stand up again." There's a saying which I read, which I love. It said that nobody fails unless they give up. And the other thing I read was a statistical analysis of success. And what they found is that most people succeed right at the point when they're ready to give up. It's like they've tried, they've worked on it, and they think it's not going to happen, and they're ready to give up. And right at that point when they're just ready to throw in the towel and say, "That's it, I can't do it," it's at that point they actually succeed. Isn't that interesting? So I'm sure you felt that way before, like, I just want to give up. I've worked so hard, it's not happening. Well, that's the signal that it's going to happen. So don't give up. The other problem is, and we've mentioned this before in other classes, is that if I fail, then I may think I am a failure because I failed. So that's a self-identity I impose upon myself. There's a difference between being a failure and failing. And a lot of us don't make that distinction. And unless we make that distinction, we can discourage ourselves. I have failed at this. It doesn't mean that I can't succeed at something else. And it doesn't even mean that I can't succeed at this again. But if I identify myself as a failure, why would I try to succeed at anything? Because I'm a failure, and everything I do fails. Everything. So have you ever heard someone say, "Everything I do is wrong, everything I do is bad, everything I do fails"? So if we have that mentality, obviously we're not going to be successful. And that is not a mentality of a devotee. A devotee is very inspired, enthusiastic. Now look at Srila Prabhupada. There were a lot of failings in his life, especially in India before he came to America. And in the beginning in America, there were a lot of failings. Prabhupada said, "I was never discouraged. I never gave up." Because Prabhupada never felt that he was a failure. And look at what Prabhupada was doing. He was making an effort to fulfill the order of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. That was a major success. No one had done that. Getting on the boat, coming to America. How bold a move was that? That in itself was major success. So he never identified his failures as failures per se. And as you've probably heard, failure, as a saying, failure is information. It's information of what didn't work. So if you see failure as, well, this didn't work, we can try something else, then you can move ahead in a positive way and say, yeah, we will figure out how to do this. So that's the idea. Hare Krishna.